Hey guys, good evening and apologies for 5 minutes or 6 minutes delay. Sorry for that. So last topic in the network concepts or networking concepts is network comments. Let's start now. So these comments regularly we can use for the investigations, right? So what are the different types of network comments we can use and when we can use, for what time we can use these network comments? So network comments, we can use it for troubleshooting purpose, practical use case, troubleshooting. Next one, implementation side, investigation side, fine tuning side. So these are the couple of places normally we can use these network comments. Not only our team, even this can be used by network engineers or network administrators, NOC team, SOC team, even servers team also they can use based on their roles and responsibilities. Mainly from our side, so we can verify the couple of traceability, routing, okay, whether opposite device is up or not, whether it is online or offline, whether it is running or not. In the similar way, how much time it will take, domain resolution it's happening or not. For these scenarios, we can go and we can verify these network commands. Let's start now. First command we are going to discuss here, IP address validation or verification. If we want to check our system related IP address in our system or maybe end user system, what is the command we have to verify? To verify the IP address, we can use ipconfig command. So what is syntax for this one? To verify the IP address using the command line interface. Command meaning here we have to enter the command. It is not like a user friendly. We no need to go through web browser. Everything can go via command line interface. Example, our CMD or any tool oriented or any Linux oriented machines. All these will support completely command line interface. Under this one, what is syntax we are going to use for IP address verification or validation? Syntax, CMD, ipconfig. If I are entering this command, automatically will come to know about IP address of the system. For example, so what is CMD full form? Command prompt. Type command prompt here. So then enter the ipconfig. Then you will receive IPv4 address. So this is the way how we can verify the IPv4 address. Okay. We have one more command also, syntax, CMD, ipconfig space /all. We can use this command also. We can use either this command or either we can use this command also. So this command will give the in-depth analysis. And this one will give the basic analysis. Just one, it will give the IPv4 address. But this one, it will give the system or computer name or host name in the similar way. So what is the MAC address? What is the default gateway? What is the DNS server IP address? What is DHCP IP address, and so on. So that is called ipconfig-gal. So let's go and see about in my system. Under the ipconfig-gal, if I given the command as a ipconfig, we have seen IPv4 address for my system 192.168.29.76. Other than that one, we have seen also subnet mask, default gateway, these three. Let's go and check with ipconfig-gal. Entire question this one. ipconfig space /all. Now you can see when I enter this command, ipconfig/all. After this one, what is the results? It is appeared. So this is the command I entered here. Host name. Host name is the computer name or system name. So that is my system or computer name. In the similar way, MAC address or physical address. So I received MAC address and physical address also. It's a 48-bit number. So far we received host name or computer name and also physical address or MAC address of the system. And also one more physical address and MAC address of the system. And one more physical address or MAC address of the system. And finally, IPv4 address 192.168.29.76. Okay, so subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Default gateway 192.168.29.1. DHCP server and DNS server. So we received about full-fledged information. Please go and compare once again our ipconfig. So we received only this information for ipconfig side. Okay. So but when I given is this is the command. This is the ipconfig only. We did not get the host name or computer name or DNS server or DHCP, MAC address, everything we did not get. But if we are giving ipconfig-gal, we receive this much information. It will give the entire system or computer information along with the host name or MAC address or physical address, DNS, DHCP, IPv4 address also. Whatever IPv4 address we received here versus whatever we received here also, both are same. You can see. Both are same. It will not change. That is about ipconfig. Next one, second command. So this is about first command. Second command, system name or computer name. So this second command, to verify the computer name or system name or computer name, we can use one of the command. So that command is to verify system name or host name or computer name or FQDN name, fully qualified domain name. We can use, okay, so one of the command, that command is, syntax is now, syntax cmd, just you can type host name. Then automatically you will come to know about what is the system name or computer name local IT desk team or service desk team or corporate IT team at the time of the laptop they configured it. Even whenever you're purchasing a new laptop also, so once you are going to configure from the scratch as a booting of the system, it will ask your email address, it will ask your computer name, it will ask your system name and so on. Okay, so for that one we can give the host name. So this is the command. So how we can verify this one in the command line interface now? Just type host name here. Then this is my host name or computer name. Same thing in the organization point of view, how they will give, they will not give our username. Instead of that one, they will give location name. Example, note in the organization point of view. For easy way, remembering purpose, they will give host name as a example 1 LT hyphen HYD hyphen 12345 hyphen Ramesh. What is mean by this one? LT means laptop. Which location he is sitting, that employee? Hyderabad location. 12345. It's an employee code. Ramesh is his name. So this is one of the example. In the similar way, example 2. So that I'll come to know, okay, whenever the incident is triggered, this person is sitting, his name is first of all Ramesh. His employee code is 12345. He is using a laptop and is located at Hyderabad location. So example 2, DT hyphen BNG hyphen, okay, so 3456 hyphen Suresh. So DT means desktop and BNG means Bangalore, 3456 employee code and Suresh. Suresh is using desktop, is located at the Bangalore location and employee code is 34567. Now, example 3. Database DB non-prod hyphen HYD hyphen.com. DB means database server, non-prod. It is not in the production environment. It is not in online. It is not in general availability. So it is in the development environment, that server, and located in Hyderabad. That server is database server. In the similar way, so how the other names, they will give example number 4, prod web server dot tcs dot chn dot com. So this part of prod means production environment, web server. So this is like a application server or web server. On top of this one, web server is, I mean, application is running on. TCS is a location. TCS is a company, and CHN is a Chennai, and .com. Now, based on this one, I came to know that. So one of the server maybe got impacted or maybe not impacted by the attacker once the alert is triggered via EDR tool or firewall or DLP or SIM tool or web application firewall tool. So that particular system name or computer name or host name, one of the web server, it is in the production environment, it is in online. So that location is Chennai and company name is TCS. This is got impacted by the attacker. Now we came to know about the server. It's a web server. Okay, it is Chennai location. Now we have to contact the business owner or server owner, this server is got compromised. We have to do the mitigation and eradication. So that is example number 4. So this is the way how the computer name or system name or fully qualified domain name, okay, so can be provided by each and every organization, so that whenever any incident is triggered, not only about incident, so whenever if you're doing any work, if you want to know about whether that one is a system or server or database or application or laptop or MacBook or workstation desktop, easy way we can go and we can identify. There is no need to contact any of the business owner or endpoint user, database owner or application owner and so on. Is for our convenient purpose. So that is about host name. So third one, MAC address. To verify MAC address of the system, we can use, we can to verify the MAC address of the system. What is syntax now? This one also we discussed previously. CMD. We can give either get MAC. This is one of the command. Already we have seen previously ipconfig all. If I am giving ipconfig, okay, ipconfig all, you can see about physical address. Nothing but this is MAC address of the system. Either we can give ipconfig all is one of the command, or what is second command? I said get MAC, GET MAC. Yeah, this is the MAC address whatever I'm using as a Ethernet interface or logical interface, not logical, physical interface. So these two commands we can use to verify MAC address of the system. Either ipconfig all, otherwise get MAC without space. With space you are giving, obviously you will get error. Example, get space MAC. It is showing or it is throwing error. This command is not recognized. This command is not existing. Please provide the proper command. So this is the proper command. Okay. So now go back to here. What is second? Okay, so method we can use cmd ipconfig space /all. So these two commands we can use to verify MAC address of the system. Next one is ping command. This one already we discussed in the class several times when we explained about ICMP type of the messages. What is the ping command importance now? It can be used to verify whether the opposite device up or not, online or offline, or active or passive. Okay. So these are all the couple of things. Online or offline, active or passive, or up or down, and up or down. When we ran about Nmap or GenMap tool, quick scan, comprehensive scan, regular scan, slow comprehensive scan, we already seen. So scan is taken this much time, and first thing it is shown as a host is up. Nothing but host we are able to reachable. That is called as a type 0 message as per ICMP, or that is also called as a echo reply. Okay, so what is the syntax we have to give now? CMD ping, either we can provide the IP address or CMD ping, we can provide hostname.com. Hostname.com meaning here google.com or maybe facebook.com or twitter.com and so on. So that is the way how we can identify. So either we can use host is reachable or unreachable, or host is reachable or unreachable. Example, ping 8.8.8. I provide IP address now. So now pinging is coming back and ICMP saying that, so ICMP is not revolving anywhere here. It is not sending or it is not responding. It is saying, okay, total packets are sent. Total packets are received for last percent. 4 minus 4 by 4 into 100% equivalent to 0%. This is ping will use one of the command that is called ICMP protocol. This is called as a type 0 message, destination reachable or echo reply. This one already we discussed under the ports and protocols. So this is the syntax now. And also we can try with not only just IP address, but also ping google.com or facebook.com. It is responding Facebook also. Destination reachable. We can try with some of the IP address. Ping 10.10.20.1. I'm not sure what is the IP address. It's a private IP address. Publicly, it is not exposed to the internet. You can see here, pinging is not reachable. So destination is unreachable. Timed is out. So as per ICMP, this message is we will call it as type 3 message. Okay. So that means what I'm trying to say, either we can give the host name or else we can give the IP address also. That is the syntax. So that's what we discussed. Either we can give IP address or else either we can give host name also. Hostname.com here I given. So facebook.com instead of the hostname.com. So that is the ping command. Next command, ns lookup. What is this ns lookup command it will do? This one also we have seen under the pointer record, reverse pointer record, a record, for a record. It will convert domain name into IP address and also IP address into domain name. This is not DNS server. DNS also will do same functionality. It will do resolution of the IP address into domain name or domain into IP address. But here, why we are this command? Just for conversion purpose only, validating purpose or investigating purpose or auditing purpose. It will convert IP address to domain name and also domain name into IP address. So what is syntax now? So syntax equals to command prompt ns lookup. You no need to give command prompt. You have to give only this command ns lookup space google.com, or we can say IP address also we can give. So second one, syntax cmd ns lookup 8.8.8.8. So this is one of the very important command. We can use it regularly at the time of the investigation. Why? Because couple of times whenever any security incident is triggered in this SIM tool or EDR or DLP or firewall or web application firewall and so on. We cannot see the what is the IP address of the alert. What is system name of the alert? Then how can we do investigation? Which system we have to assume or hypothesis based? Which I have to do investigation? Whether I have to do X or Y or Z, I am not sure. In case the alert is not providing the full-fledged details. In the alert, we have seen IP address, but we don't have the system name or computer name or username. Maybe in the alert, we have seen the username, but we don't have the IP address. It is applicable to both the ways. Those scenarios, we can use NS lookup regularly as compared to all other commands. Regularly for investigation purpose, we will use one of the command that is called NS lookup. You have to remember this one. Okay, let's go and see now practical. NS lookup 8.8.8.8. In case from my ISP router, if it is reachable, it will resolve it. Otherwise, it will not resolve it. It is reachable. DNS Google 8.8.8. given, it is converted into DNS.Google. That is DNS Google address. In the similar, I given one more command, NS lookup google.com. This is also converted into IP address. So this command can be used either converting of the IP address into domain name or domain name into IP address, mainly for when we are not able to collect the full-fledged tracing of the incident. Nothing but whether IP address is missing in the alert, only we can see the username, or so maybe alert IP address username is missing and we can see the IP address. Both the cases. If everything is providing both username and IP address is giving, we cannot use this command. We can take it from directly from the alert. So those scenarios we can use NS lookup command. So next one, trace route. So this one, something it's happened. One of the server is got compromised, it's not able to reachable. One of the network, it went down, it is not able to reachable. One of the database is shut down, it's not reachable. The service is unavailable. The page cannot be displayed. We don't know what's happened and where it's happened. For troubleshooting and debugging, where is exactly the issue? Whether is in the laptop side or router side or switch side where the packet is dropping. For those cases, we can use trace route, traceability, reachability, in between, source and destination. This command can be used to verify tracing or route issues in between source and destination. Is one of the very favorite interview question out of all the commands, even though we can use regularly NS lookup command for investigation. Interviewer will not ask this question. But interviews regularly we can expect one of the question, trace route. But trace route we can use very rarely. But even though this is the interview question. NOC and other teams or network administrator, they will use more as compared to us. So how we can give the syntax now? Syntax CMD trace RT, not ROUTE. Please remember, we no need to give the full form. I given trace route is a full form here, but when you're entering the command, we have to give trace RT only. Okay. Along with that one, you can use space now, 8.8.8.8. Or we have one more formula. Here, don't think like 8.8 means 8.8.8.1 only. Otherwise, x dot x dot x dot x, any number you can keep under the x. Unknown number in mathematics, we can call it as x or y or z or z. Otherwise, we can give here hostname.com also. Example, google.com we given. So these two comments we can use to verify the traceability whenever any issue will occur. What is mean by this, sir? Let's go and see now. Trace rt 8.8.8.8. I want to see in between my system to google.com, is there any packet is dropping? What is the IP address of the where the packet is dropping? How much time it will take? Let's see. So from my IP address 192.168.29.72, it reached to Reliance. Okay, because we are using Geo in my home, Geo Wi-Fi, it reached to Wi-Fi router. From there, it is reached to IP address default gateway 1, default gateway 2, default gateway 3, default gateway 4. And this is the time how much? Minimum time, maximum time, average time. First one is minimum time, second is maximum time, and also average time. So now packet is dropping here. Whenever star will come, requested timed out, packet is dropped. We can see whether still it is reachable to google.com or not. It is retrying. Okay, once again packet is dropped. So once again it is trying to connect. It is connected once again. Once again it is connected. Connection is established. TCP3 handshake is going on. Trace is completed. When a given trace RT 8.8.8, it is given time along with that one default gateway routers. Okay, in between source and destination. Source is 8.8.8. Destination is okay. So sorry, source is my laptop. So this is the laptop, and destination is this is the one. It is reachable now. It is trace is continuously. We are able to see star, 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 and so on. That means somewhere traffic is dropping. Example, trace RT 10.10.10.1. From my system, I am giving trace route. First, it went to my Geo Wi-Fi router. From there, it reached to another default gateway. From there, it is reaching to another default gateway router. Once again, it is reaching to another default gateway router. That is fourth one. Once again, packet is dropping now. Fifth one. Requested timed out. So there's some of the problem. Let's see what will retry and reconnect once again. Similarly, whatever it's happened here. So once again, requested timed out. Once again, it is packet is dropping, requested timed out. Seventh one. Requested timed out. Requested timed out. So far, we identified here is the problem. So here, up to here, it is reachable. But from there, this packet is dropping. But it is reconnected here, at least. Even the packet is dropped 2 times. But is continuously dropping. Let's see whether trace is completed or not. Continuously it is coming this one. Problem here is there in this router. Now we have to log into this router. Router, we will not do configuration. This configuration can be done by network engineers or network administrator. They can troubleshoot. Is there has switch any problem? Our router has any problem? And finally, they can resolve the issues because it's a network related issue. It is not going to complete, I know, because these many times packet will not do retransmission. Retrying. It's not able to. 1 second packet is connection is not establishing. TCP three-way handshake in between source and destination. Okay, so that's all, guys. That is our trace route. Now problem is there with in this router. In this router, now we have to log into the router and we have to go and we have to troubleshoot why the packet is dropping by our router. That is not our job. This one can be done by our network engineers or network administrator because they will configure the router and switch. Okay. So I'm stopping now. So if you give Control C, automatically it will stop it. So that is our trace route. Entire question this one. Next one. ARP table information. If you want to get the ARP table information, what is the command we have to use? Along with time also. It will provide the ARP address resolution protocol information in the form of tables. What ARP table will do? It will convert or it will map IP address to MAC address. IP address to MAC address. That is the functionality of the ARP table. Okay. Now, how we can go and we can provide the syntax here. Syntax CMD ARP. Then you can give enter command, and after that it will displace. There are so many help button, and 1 second you can give CMD, and you can provide ARP space hyphen A or ARP not means R here CMD. Okay, otherwise CMD ARP space hyphen D for display, CMD ARP space hyphen V, it's for view. So this is the way we can go and we can see different types of sub commands also. Let's go and see practically. In my system, what the ARP table it is forming? ARP, give enter. That's what I said. After entering ARP, I given this is the command. This is what it is showing as a display. Hyphen A, it's for displays the current ARP entries. In my laptop, whatever layer 3 IP address it is mapping to layer 2 MAC address, it will show this display. Hyphen G, same as A, nothing but it will displace. Hyphen V, we can view. Hyphen D is for delete. -S is for add, -A is for display, -G is for 1 second display, -E is for view, -D is for delete, and -S is for add. Okay. So now ARP space -A. I want to display in my laptop what are the ARP tablets formed. Mapping of the IP3 logical address to, okay, so MAC address or physical address. Internet address. Internet will work on which layer? Layer number 3. Nothing but internet layer or network layer. So physical address, layer number 2, MAC address. What the definition we said? ARP, it will convert or it will map or it will resolute layer 3 IP address to layer 2 MAC address. Internet address, layer 3 address as per YSI. So this is layer 3 address. It is mapping to physical address. That is called MAC address. Okay. Our definition, whatever we discussed versus practically also we are able to see same as it is. Mapping of the layer 3 IP address to layer 2 physical address or MAC address. So this one you can enter R ARP hyphen minus V. Once again, ARP hyphen minus D. So that command is wrong. ARP hyphen minus S. Okay. So this is the way you can use multiple also. ARP hyphen S. It is showing already. Okay. So that is called ARP. It will convert or map IPv4 address, layer 3 IP address to layer 2 MAC address. So that is the importance of the ARP table. Okay, go back now. So this is the command. Next command, path ping or ping path. Previously we have seen trace route. Trace route is providing the in between source and destination. We can see the default gateway, number of the routers, and also time as well. But path ping, it will not give the time. It will give only default gateways information. That is the, okay, so main difference between trace route versus path ping. Let's go and see path ping in between source and destination. 8.8.8.8. This is syntax now. Enter. So from my system, it is reached to, so this is the my system and this is the Reliance Jio, whatever Wi-Fi I'm using. From there, router 1, router 2, router 3. We cannot see anywhere time here now. We can see, only we can see IP address, default gateway. It is showing. It is taking some time. Yeah, so finally it will complete. Okay, so that path ping. So computing statics for 175 seconds it will take. Nothing but almost 3 minutes. Okay, so that is our path ping. Path ping side, we can see only default gateways or routers information. But on the other hand, if we're going for trace route, we can see time also, how much time it will take, minimum, maximum, and average. But if you are going with path ping, it is providing only how many routers are there, but it's not providing any. So how much time it will take from one router to another router. That is the difference. We can give either IP address or we can give the host name also. It can be used to identify what are all the routers are existing in between source and destination, but it will not provide time. But traceroute will provide time also. So that is called path ping. And syntax here, CMD, we can use path ping x dot x dot x dot x. You can give any of IP address or else syntax CMD path ping google.com. These two we can give. Hostname.com otherwise in generic. So that is the difference between path ping versus traceroute. So last one. So when we discussed about ports and protocols, so I given one of the command called netstat, network statistics. So this network statistics, what it will provide, it can be used to know about what are all the ports are open or what are all the ports are closed. But it will not give the, okay, so filtered ports. Filtered ports, it has given by Nmap or Genmap tool when we run the port scanning or targeted IP scanning or hostname scanning. But netstat will not give the filter ports information, but it will give only closed ports or open ports. It will give only open ports, nothing but indirectly remaining all are closed. So what is syntax now? CMD netstat, that's it. Let's go and see now. Netstat. So this is the loopback address in my system, whatever couple of softwares I installed. This is the port number 4790. This is source port and this destination port. So these two ports are open. This port is open. This port is open. This port is open. This port is open. Yeah, these ports are open. So example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21. 21 into 2. Altogether we have 42 ports are open in my system. So that means out of 65,536 ports we have overall. Out of 65,536 ports, 42 are open. Okay. So that means here remaining how many ports are closed? So 65,596. These many ports are closed. 60 only. Okay. So 42 ports are open. So 65,536 minus 42. So 65,000. So 496. These many ports are closed. Okay. So that is about netstat. So by the by, these comments not only can be used by us, these comments regularly can be used by even our Windows administrator, Linux administrator, database team, local IT team, corporate IT team, NOC team. Everybody will use these comments regularly. For them also, these questions are interview. I mean, interview point of view. Last one, Telnet. What is this Telnet about? Already we discussed. Telecommunication network. If you want to log in one virtual Linux server into another Linux server, if you want to log in into one Unix server to another Unix server virtually or remotely, we can use telecommunication network. For that one, we can use PuTTY application. Syntax CMD telnet x dot x dot x dot x and port number. Port number. What is the port number of telnet? What is the port number of telnet? Port number of the telnet?
23.
23. We have to enter give 23. So this is the syntax now. First, what is mean by this one? So login into our PuTTY application. First, you can log in into. So example, first I want to give to one of the Linux server IP address. For suppose 10.10.10.1. So I'm giving open here and it will ask username and password. Then Linux server username and password we have to give. Then it will log into one of the Linux server. From there, once again we have to give option as a telnet. And if you want to log into another virtual server of the Linux, that IP address and port number 23 you can give. Then it will ask whatever another virtual server of the, okay, so Linux server, username and password. Then enter the username and password. Total 2 times we are logging. One time through PuTTY we are logging and we are entering into one of the Linux server. From that Linux server, we are giving the telnet command and then we are giving the port number 23. Then it will ask once again username and password. Then finally we are able to log in into Unix server. So nothing but here, Windows 2, first Unix server. From this second Unix server. This is the overall. For this one, first we can use PuTTY for Windows side. So then we will enter the username and password of the Linux. From there, we can log in into telnet command and another the IP address of the Linux server. So example, this one is first Linux server IP address 10.10.10.1. So we are entering and providing username and password telnet. So here you again 23 and IP address is 10.10.10.2. Then it will ask once again username and password. So finally, from one system, Unix server, we are logging to another system from our Windows machine. For those cases, we can use telnet. Okay. Out of all these, regularly in our investigation purpose, we will use 2 commands. Those commands are ping command. Regularly, we can use this command. Investigation side. Second command is ns lookup. So regularly, we can use this command for investigation side. Traceroute also we can use for troubleshooting side. Entire question out of all these 3. So this is the entire question. Okay. That doesn't mean that remaining questions maybe they cannot expect, but most of the cases, based on my experience and based on my opinion, I'm saying most of the people they can expect traceroute at netstat or ns lookup, these 3 regularly. So that is about overall network commands. So from this entire overall, whatever we discussed under the networking concepts, let's go and see about course content. We completed voice layers, we completed TCP/IP layers, ports and protocols we completed, classification of the IP address we completed, Port scanning tool Nmap we completed. Wireshark partially we completed. That's why it's mentioned as a, okay, so yellow color. Router switch and hub differences we completed. Static IP and dynamic IP and drawbacks of the static IP and DHCP server we completed. So DHCP server using DORA process, how it will allocate IP address. We completed this one. DNS server and DNS records we completed. Other servers like Active Directory, domain controller, web server, app server, file server, Windows servers, Linux server, SMTP server or email server we completed. Network comments we completed. And also network architecture diagram we completed. So these are all the concepts, basically networking concepts. These concepts are common to if you want to enter into any security domain. These concepts are common to every security domain. Meaning what? If you want to go to endpoint security, these are common. If you want to go to network security, these basics are common. If you want to go to infrastructure security vulnerability management, these concepts are common. If you want to go to application security, so these are all common. Irrespective of the whatever security domain you are choosing, whatever your role you are choosing, along with these one, these networking and cyber attacks also common. Up to here, it's a common for every security domain. That may be endpoint or network or application or cloud or cyber or mobile or OT or IoT or IIoT. These, okay, up to attacks. These are all common to each and every security domain. From here, so respective domain will change based on the whatever respective classification of the solution and whatever domain we are choosing. But up to here, whether you are going for endpoint or network or application or cloud or cyber or mobile or OT or IoT, up to network comments, all these are common to each and every security domain. It will not change. Okay. Now from here, it will change our individual security domains, whether which one you want to choose it. For example, SAP, we have 21 modules. SAP HANA, SAP Sales, SAP Marketing, SAP Pico, SAP ABAP. Okay, in such a way, we have 21 modules. Here also, this is one of the module from endpoint security side, security domain. Network security is one of the module. So infrastructure security is one of the module. App security is one of the module. Cyber security is one of the module. And information security is one of the module, and so on. This training is not only covering just about cyber security. We are covering, there are so many security domains for so many vacancies. Okay, so let's start about now. Very, very important topics we are going to discuss from today onwards, whatever we are going to start. So here onwards, our security will start. Okay, after whatever we discussed up to today, everything like a networking concepts. So let's start about network and cyber and application attacks. Here, what are we are going to discuss first of all? For every interview, these interview questions are common, and I cannot say which one is important and which one is not important. You should be aware of everything. We are going to discuss approximate 60 to 70 in between. So first of all, who is attacker and what attacker or intruder or hacker or, okay, so external attacker, what exactly he will do. or threat actor. There are so many names. Attacker will do hacking. Something will get compromised. Why he will compromise? There are two reasons. One, he wants money, or maybe he wants data. For these two reasons, normally attacker will do hacking or attacking. Okay. So what is attack now? The person attacker here, attacker or intruder or hacker or threat actor, all these are synonyms. Threat actor, entire question. Attacker, intruder, hacker or so threat actor. The person who is doing hacking so that he will gain unauthorized access or sensitive data exposure in the form of money or data. So that is attacker. Now, what are the different types of attacks are existing? So before going to that one, so what are the topics we are going to discuss here? First topic is cyber kill chain process. Yesterday entire question from entity data. MITRE or MITRE attack framework. Once again, day before yesterday entire question from Value Labs. Almost all the interviews, these two questions we can expect regularly. They will ask like, what is cyber kill chain process? Or what is cyber kill chain process? Take with one of the example attack. Or what is MITRE attack framework? Or what is the difference between cyber kill chain process versus MITRE attack framework? Or so explain about MITRE attack framework. Or finally, how you are utilizing MITRE attack framework in your organization. These 6 to 7 scenario based questions we can expect from the interview point of view. Almost all the interviews, these questions are common. I'm repeating once again. First question, what is cyber kill chain process? And second question, what is MITRE attack framework? Third question, what is the difference between cyber kill chain process versus MITRE attack framework? And fourth one, what is cyber kill chain process? Take one of the example of the attack and explain via attack. Nothing but scenario. And last one, how are you utilizing MITRE or MITRE attack framework in your organization? So these 5 questions, normally almost all the interviews we can expect it. After going to complete these two, so this one is mainly from the attacker point of view, offensive mechanism. Attacker point of view or offensive. Who will do offense? Obviously, malicious person will do, criminal will do, or hacker will do. Offensive mechanism. So, but on the other hand, MITRE attack or MITRE, couple of people they'll call MITRE and couple of people they'll call MITRE. What is this MITRE or MITRE? It is a combination of how the attacker will do hacking, along with that one, even it will provide defensive also. How to prevent it? Example. Just go on Google and search MITRE or MITRE attack framework. And click on MITRE attack. And go to here, tactics or techniques and defenses. So click on any tactics. I'm going with enterprise level. All these are tactics. There are 14 tactics attacker will use. How to do hacking. Along with that one, once you are clicking on any one, click on recon. This is the tactics attacker will use. It's offensive mechanism. Under that one, attacker will use techniques also. What type of techniques attacker will use so that he can compromise it. So these are the techniques. Once again, I'm clicking on the any technique. it will go to procedure. Attacker can use these are the procedure to hacking. I took example recon. Not only how the attacker will do hacking using the tactics and techniques and procedures, but also it will give mitigation, nothing but preventive mechanism, defensive mechanism, detection. It will go detection also, blocking or alerting. Okay, so nothing but it's a combination of both offensive plus defensive. How the attacker will do hacking, along with that one, it will give the mitigation and also alerting part. But cyber kill chain will not provide all those. It will provide up to here only, procedures only. How the attacker will do hacking. That is the difference between MITRE or MITRE versus cyber kill chain process. Okay. So it's a combination of both now. Offensive, how the attacker will do hacking, and also defensive, how the alert will be triggered, how the actions can be taken care, how the mitigation can be taken care, how the recommendation can be taken care, or eradication can be taken care. So that is MITRE. After going to complete this one, we are going to discuss about couple of types of the attacks under this one. First one is authentication failure category. Second one is malware category. Third one, spoofing category. Fourth one, flooding category. Fifth one, phishing email category. Sixth one, WASP top 10 category. On the application side. Last one, in case we missed out any other than these category, above all. So that is called other or miscellaneous. So these attacks we are going to discuss. These attacks approximate we have 20, not 20, sorry, 60 to 70 in between. But regularly we can do the investigations, not even 35. Only we can do half. Regularly we will receive only half of the incidents only. We cannot receive not even full 70 whatever we are going to discuss. We will receive only 30 only, not even 30, less than 30. That regularly these incidents or alerts only we have to take care of the investigation side. That is our role. That may be endpoint or network or cloud or cyber or application or mobile or infrastructure and so on. Okay, up to here. So whatever we are going to discuss, these topics are common to every security domain. From there, it will change from solution to solution or tool to tool. Okay, so this one we can start tomorrow. Someone asked about, so how the traffic will go from DMZ to internal or internal to DMZ. Okay. This policy we can configure. Don't think like always the traffic, it will go via from external to internal or internal to external. We have taken two examples. Example, if I want to apply job in the TCS company, that is one of the example I took it. Or, so that is as inbound traffic or incoming traffic. Second example, what I took it when we discussed in the last class, one of the HR of the TCS company, she wants to download resume from the naukri.com or linkedin.com. How the incoming traffic will go away from internal to external. That is one of the thing. Second example, practical example, whatever we discussed, one of the sender from SBI Bank, they are sending the emails to tcs.com as internal, okay, inbound or incoming, okay, email. In the similar way, TCS guy wants to send out one of the email to customer or client belongs to SBI Bank. That's what we discussed in the last class. So that is nothing but internal versus external or trust versus untrust only we discussed. Not only that one, even if we want to create a policies in the firewall, as I said, 6 policies we can configure. Internal to DMZ, internal to external. In the similar way, DMZ to internal, DMZ to external. And finally, okay, so external to DMZ and external to internal. Total 6 probabilities or 6 types of the policies we can configure. For example, so when you want to access by end user, non-critical server is hosted in the DMZ or DMZ zone. In that scenario, so maybe take example developer. One of the non-critical server, it is hosted in the DMZ zone or DMZ zone. Now the traffic, it will go from developer to access switch. From the access switch, it will go to DNS. From DNS, it will go to access switch, core switch, firewall, proxy, NADS, NAPS. From here, it will reach to non-critical server. This is also possible. Vice versa also possible. Same way, if you want to send the email or releasing of the email from here, internal users from email gateway, one of the email is received, but unfortunately our email gateway is quarantine and blocking, but that is legitimate email. We have to release that email. Now in that scenario, what we can do, you can go to email gateway. The traffic will come now here, email gateway to proxy or firewall, first firewall, firewall to directly it will go to access switch. From SMTP, it will go to SMTP server. SMTP server, it will reroute to end user, example CEO. That is also possible. All the different 6 scenarios is possible irrespective of whether we are creating the policies or not. So internal to DMZ, DMZ to external, and external to DMZ, external to internal, DMZ to internal, DMZ to external. All these 6 scenarios are possible. Any other? Any other questions?
I think, sir.
What about others?
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Related to sir endpoint plus network security. In my
Yeah.
device, I have the Sophos. Okay. In
Okay.
my network, I have the Fortinet.
Mm.
And the Fortinet have the allow category of social media, but endpoint, I am blocking the social media category.
Mm.
So how the antivirus was detected? Like first detection is showing to me Fortinet firewall or the endpoint.
Endpoint.
Okay. So could you please sir explain me how the traffic was sourced?
Example, first as end user,
Hmm?
as end user is accessing example social networking website. As end user is accessing social networking website, example www.youtube.com. As end user, first the request it will go to from end user machine to so our access switch. Access switch, it will go to our internal EDR tool. Internal EDR tool, we have 2 different types of policies can be configured irrespective of the EDR. That may be Sophos or CrowdStrike or Sentinel-1 or Carbon Block or maybe other tools as well. We have 2 different types of policies. That policies we can call it as app control and web control. Traditional antivirus doesn't have this particular option. Once the EDR and XDR came into the market, so that time only even EDR tool also has a functionality or feature. Once the end user is trying to access any website, so it has a functionality what is the legitimate website is trying to access or illegitimate. So based on the policies configured, either app control and web control, and also based on the signature based detection mechanism, based on the behavioral based mechanism, first it is hitting to EDR tool, then finally EDR based on the action it will allow or block. In case we did not configure any EDR policy, and the EDR is not supporting the app control and web control policy, then traffic will go to our DNS server. DNS server, it will validate whatever social networking website end user is requested. It will check that DNS cache or other data server on the backend. Then it will come back to core switch, router, and proxy. Proxy, once again, it will validate. So proxy also it has a functionality. We can block abortion, nude, and also next one is terrorist. Next one is social networking and business oriented SaaS based application. Okay, so terrorism, racism, there are so many. Even proxy also can validate now. Can the end user is requesting the website that may belong to social networking, whatever you said, example, it can go and it can validate what is the policies are configured based on our company's site, whether they allowed or blocked. So in case it is allowed on the networking side, so on the perimeter side, proxy can block it. Still, or even though proxy is not able to do that based on the policies configured, then the traffic it will hit to next generation firewall. Under the next generation firewall, once again we have URL filtering option, content filtering option, bright cloud URL filtering option. So based on these three different types of options, once again, based on the policies configured as per our business requirement, whether we allowed or maybe we blocked. So according to that one, once these two are maybe bypassed and did not configure the policies, then firewall finally it is able to block. So this is the way how the traffic flow it will go once the end user is accessing from external website from internal to external.
Okay, sir. But sir, uh, my doubt is clear, but I have one doubt for the proxy related.
Mm.
Like in my network, I have the Netscope proxy, okay, secure web gateway. Also, my device, I have the Sophos endpoint. So still the traffic is the same or some changes are made after role of the proxy?
See, there are two things here. First of all, how the EDR deployment it's happened, and also how the proxy deployment it's happened. So there are two things here. So what is the two things here? Nowadays, proxy that doesn't mean that it is working as inline method or promiscuous mode. Nowadays, whatever proxy we are deploying, it will work on agent and server based approach also. Even our EDR tool or all other endpoint security tools will work on agent and server based approach. In case, so EDR is working on the agent server based approach, and proxy also is working on the agent and server based approach. Parallelly, the traffic will go to Sophos EDR and also proxy at a time. So both the devices it can validate, and finally either proxy or maybe EDR it can block it. For example, EDR is working on an agent and server based approach, and proxy working as a inline method or promiscuous mode without agent based approach. In that scenario, first thing it will go to EDR only. EDR can evaluate whether the whatever website end user is requesting to social networking. First, it can validate that one as a first priority, and second priority it will go to proxy. So this is the way whether we are using the inline method or promiscuous mode proxy, or whether we are using the agent server based approach. According to that one also it depends. So whatever question you asked.
So actually, sir, I don't know the Netscope secure web gateway how they work, but in my environment, the
That
client
is what I'm
was
saying.
using.
Yeah, what
Mm,
sorry to interrupt you. Vivek, what I'm
yeah.
saying, please go and
Mm,
see. So in
mm,
your customer network, whether the proxy is deployed as a whatever you said, proxy tool, agent based and server based proxy tool, or else whether it is inline method via only network. If you know that difference, obviously, then you'll come to know the answer. Whether first it will go to proxy or first it will go to
mm.
EDR.
Okay. So, sir, in our upcoming sessions, can we learn more about the proxy?
Obviously, yeah. There you will
Okay.
understand completely how the proxy it will work. Whatever I'm saying, maybe you cannot understand right now. Maybe example. So in-depth
Okay.
analysis, detection methods and deployment methods and implementation methods. There I'm going to teach it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other? Okay, guys, then thank you so much and see you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, sir. Good night, team. Bye.